In a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers, the final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss, there wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Wwe 2K25 wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever, and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody call the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds, High Chief Peter Maivia!
Steel had better keep an eye on Maivia because Maivia is a true brawler. Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steel. We'll see which prevails tonight.
High Chief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steel in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications.
A quick cover. Easily kicks out of that one.
He thought he did more damage than he actually did. Ooh!
George the Animal Steel is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the animal. But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The High Chief Peter Maivia. And when you consider that Maivia is also an excellent high flyer and a great technician, well, you can see why the High Chief is the favorite in this match, even with the steel cage stipulation. Oh!
Right into the cage!
Ooh!
Running power slam! When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
Peter Maivia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, Steel often has trouble finding opponents due to his erratic nature. But when it comes to competition, the High Chief wants to prove he's worthy of that name. Peter Maivia will take on any competitor, no matter the difficulty.
Two very opposing styles in every sense of the word, Corey. High Chief Maivia is a much more physically gifted and talented athlete in the ring than Steel. What's it going to take for the animal to get the upper hand here?
Well, he's got to be even more chaotic than ever inside this cage. Nothing about Steel makes sense to someone as traditional as Maivia. There's never any telling what the animal's going to do in a match, and he needs to... Back and forth we go. Ooh! Just teeing off with that fight forever vibe.
Neither competitor is backing down.
Ooh! Well, the unorthodox style of George Steel is certainly working well at this juncture.
Let's see if Maivia has an answer for the animal. The willpower, the sheer guts of these two.
Who will break first? That is the question.
You can feel the contact, and so does the WWE Universe.
Each inch you climb puts you in more of a precarious position.
And here he goes, ascending up the steel cage. He's getting even closer to making an escape.
You can almost taste it now. Having a problem lifting that other leg over. Caught at the worst time, right at the top of this cage.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anawa'i family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan. When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people in the tribal ink that covers his body. The climb to the top now is going to take every ounce of energy.
Effective counter.
Ouch. Oh, and I
rake.
That's not right, but effective.
Peter Maivia, very tough, but he also has movie star good looks. Quite the combo.
And it served him well, Michael. In fact, the High Chief has major acting and stunt work credits to his name. And who knows, maybe we'll see the Maivia name on Hollywood billboards again sometime. Well, before any of that happens, the High Chief needs to survive this war against the animal.
Momentum is all with Maivia now.
And you can see Steele is struggling to weather the storm of the High Chief. Headlock cinched in and just tossed their opponent. Took him out at the knee.
Oh, what a headbutt.
And George is caught.
Oh, what a backbreaker.
And just ugly impact. Maivia can taste it now.
Gentlemen, we've touched on the differences between Maivia and Steele as competitors. One man based on order, the other on chaos, but it's reflected in their looks, too.
Indeed, Michael. Just look at the sculpted physique of the High Chief. And the tribal tattoos on his body are extremely intricate and definitely eye-catching. And Steele is, well, he's an ugly creature. Enough hair on his upper torso to classify as fur. Folds in his bald head. He's like a modern-day Neanderthal. Slam down.
Peter Maivia is looking unstoppable now.
Yeah, and Maivia has really figured He wants it one more time.
Snap you in half.
And George is laid out. Peter Maivia rallying this crowd behind him. Ooh. The animal has to be elated to be in this steel cage against one of his biggest rivals, no less.
Yeah, Byron, we've seen the animal brandish a weapon against Peter Maivia before when it was against the rules. The High Chief better be prepared for Steele to get even crazier.
Oh, Maivia is prepared, all right. The man is extremely tough and agile. In fact, the High Chief's entire body can be considered a weapon.
Maivia one step ahead.
Boom! Maivia just dominated the animal with that one.
He's about to do it. He's about to do it again. Backbreaker.
Hits it again, and that's gotta do it. He's ordering the ref to open the cage door. He's facing no resistance exiting the cage now.
Scrambling up the cage wall now. And the High Chief defeats the animal.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory for the High Chief.
She's not like most girls. She's also not like most WWE superstars. Nia Jax, the reigning queen of the ring, is a reckoning, a force of nature that blitzes right through her competition. A cousin of The Rock, Nia Jax arrived in NXT almost 10 years ago with astronomical expectations. Undaunted, Nia Jax would dominate early opponents, finding herself competing for the NXT Women's Championship mere months after her debut. It did not take long for those running Raw and SmackDown to take notice.
Well, our next pick, Nia Jax.
And Nia Jax would join the Raw roster as part of the 2016 draft lottery. And since joining the main roster, absolutely no one has been safe from Nia Jax. She is is a two-time women's champion. She is a two-time women's tag team champion. She competed in the men's Royal Rumble match in 2019, even getting an elimination while in the ring.
Nia Jax looking to eliminate. She does.
She's battled standouts like Charlotte, Bayley, and Becky Lynch. And all the while, she has left undeniable destruction in her wake. In the ring, she applies many of the same tactics that once benefited Yokozuna, even using her own version of the bonsai drop, known as the Annihilator. And just like its namesake, if it connects, your night is over. And Nia Jax remains driven for even more success, jumping at any opportunity to prove her dominance. This last year, that included entering into the 2024 Queen of the Ring tournament after earning victories over Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair. Nia Jax would fight her way into the finals, taking on former NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria. Valkyria built a lot of momentum, defeating Dakota Kai, Zoe Stark, and Io Sky to punch her ticket into the final at the Queen and King of the Ring. With an obvious game plan, Lyra would look to stick and move, avoiding the colossal attacks of her opponent. Unfortunately, as often happens when competing against Nia Jax, Lyra made one miscalculation, and that error in judgment provided Nia Jax with the opening she needed to annihilate her competition. This is your opportunity to crown the first queen in Bloodline history. Make Lyra suffer. Make her regret ever entering your ring. Showcase the otherworldly power that forces an entire roster to cower in your presence. Because when you're an irresistible force like Nia Jax, resistance is futile.
And now a dark horse will face an unforgiving titan in hopes to don the crown. Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax in the Queen of the Ring Finals.
The following is the final match in the Queen of the Ring Tournament. Introducing first, from San Diego, California, Nia Jax.
I cannot wait to witness what unfolds here. The irresistible force has been on a tear recently. And Nia believes the crown already belongs to her. Will Jax's menacing presence and sheer power be too much for Valkyria to overcome? Or can Lyra write a happy ever after ending to her Cinderella story?
Lyra Valkyria fancies herself a Morrigan, which is an Irish goddess of war. As they were on the battlefield, they used to take the shape of ravens to fly around and decide who would live and who would die. That is what Lyra Valkyria is bringing to the ring here tonight.
And her opponent, from Dublin, Ireland, Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria may have read a little too much fantasy in her day, and now is reality. Lyra Valkyria is about to go toe-to-toe with a real-life, fire-breathing dragon in the form of Nia Jax. Nia Jax, who's in the best physical condition of her career, tonight will make someone. Will it be Lyra? Will it be Nia? We'll find out in a matter of moments.
And guys, you win the crown. Guess what waits for you in August?
A date with the champion of your respective brand at SummerSlam.
And it's all come down to this, the finals of the 2024 Queen of the Ring tournament, Jax Valkyria, who will walk out of Saudi Arabia with a crown and a ticket to a world title match at SummerSlam.
Lyra Valkyria is about to go toe-to-toe with a real-life, fire-breathing dragon in the form of Nia Jax. Nia, who's in the best physical condition of her career and as highly motivated as I've ever seen. This night...
And Nia now misses wildly. Lyra goes up over the top. Nia's got it caught, though.
Lyra trying to rely on her technique to bring down the irresistible force, but having no luck at the moment. I'm not sure this is going to work either. Jax just entirely too strong, but whoa!
That was interesting.
Nice athleticism by Valkyria. Even Jax might be a little impressed. I wouldn't go that far, Saxton. Here comes Nia, just imposing her will on Lyra Valkyria. Again, Lyra showing how resourceful she is, applying the sleeper to Nia Jax. Lyra tried to hold on.
And now Nia Jax in control, and she's going to look to put Lyra away. Nobody home, sent outside the ring, and Valkyria's got a chance.
Huge window of opportunity. Right now for Lyra Valkyria to strike. Lyra may actually pull this off. Lyra may become queen. Lyra has the advantage. She has Nia reeling. But Lyra can't win Queen of the Ring with Jax on the outside. This match has to end in the ring.
And she slides her back to the mat.
Ow. Oof.
Lyra Valkyria, one of the best technical wrestlers in NXT Women's Division history.
But the game is about so much more than technique. It's about experience and timing, knowing when to tap into certain parts of your psyche. Nia knows this, and we've seen it for years. The big question is, does Lyra? Nia avoids contact.
Launched right out of the ring. She's making the climb to the top rope.
From the top, look out below! That was just incredible hang time. Was willing to take the high risk to the outside, and it paid off big time. Oh, the face has been planted.
Well, if you're Lyra Valkyria, what do you do to pull off a massive upset tonight?
Well, Lyra's a technical wizard, Cole. In fact, from a technique perspective, she may actually have Nia Jax outgunned. And beyond relying on her technique, if I'm Lyra, I'm going to try to frustrate Nia. I don't know how possible that is, but if you frustrate Nia, she may make a crucial mistake.
Fires back with a crucial elbow. Lyra says she feels alive every time she flies, and that's what Nia has to avoid tonight, keeping Lyra grounded.
The woman thinks she's a bird, Cole. What do you expect?
It's symbolism, Graves.
Oh, man, like getting hit by a brick wall.
She's tossed right out of the ring. Countout rule is active as she heads to the floor. And gets tossed back into the mat.
Getting her set up for something in the corner. Oh, man, jarring headbutt. Many in the WWE Universe getting their first look at Lyra Valkyria. She's only had 3 main roster matches so far, and they were all in this tournament.
Big wins over Dakota Kai, Zoe Stark, and Io Sky over the last 3 weeks. That's an extremely impressive start for Lyra.
Wow, undefeated for 3 weeks? When Nia Jax joined the main roster, she didn't lose a match for over 7 months, and Jax has stayed that dominant for years.
Gosh.
Going head to head, putting each other to the test. Nothing pretty here, just good old-fashioned fisticuffs. Looks like a hockey fight's just broken out. It looks like we've got ourselves a brawl here. Back and forth, neither one giving up any ground. WWE Universe appreciating these athletes going all out. 2 fighters putting their haymakers on autopilot right now.
Ooh, hard into the turnbuckle. Down to the mat.
Nia Jax using her cranium as a weapon, and things are about to get a whole lot worse. Jax hits the Annihilator.
Is it enough to put Lyra away?
Sidewalk slam.
In just a matter of minutes, we'll have our second Queen of the Ring. The first, of course, being Zelina Vega.
But you've got to believe that Zelina will want a shot at whichever woman wins this. She beat the woman now known as Piper Niven that night, so you know Queen Zelina can strike down an enemy of any size.
What a shot by Nia Jax. She wants to take this thing to the outside. And now she delivers her back into the ring. Placed against the turnbuckles.
Feet tied up. Has to be feeling vulnerable here. Stuck in the tree of woe and just having their face stomped.
Confidence is always a key for Nia Jax. She comes into every match thinking she has it won.
But when you have this business in your blood like Nia does, that confidence is genetic. But ever since the Irresistible Force returned to WWE 8 months ago, her confidence has been on another level. And she's gaining even more confidence as this match progresses. Jax may just be unstoppable now.
And Lyra is brought to a disadvantage now.
And the Irresistible Force is really keeping Valkyria grounded here. Nia Jax is doing whatever she wants. Each Samoan drop driving all of the air out of Lyra Valkyria.
And
Valkyria crushed in the corner by Jax.
Squashing Lyra in the corner, and the beginning of the end may be near. And Nia now, with Lyra on her back, going to climb up to the second rope.
This is a scary situation for Lyra. Oh, look at this. Maybe not.
No way. There's no way.
Oh, my.
Oh, no. Good night, Annihilator.
Here is your winner and the new Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax.
What a victory to the brand new Queen of the Ring.
Nia said she would do it, and she backed up her claims.
And now the Chief Content Officer of WWE, Triple H, going to come in to congratulate Nia Jax, officially crown her the Queen of the Ring.
Absolute dominance by the new Queen.
I'm sure you will agree with your wise man. Many WWE superstars say they will do whatever it takes in order to achieve success. Quite often, it's a bunch of BS. But if you're lucky, you may run into someone who is willing to look out for the group. Someone willing to make sacrifices. And for this family, there was no one better than Rikishi. After the Head Shrinkers run in WWE came to an end, Rikishi, then known as Fatu, would go on a journey of self-discovery. This journey would lead to him taking on the name Rikishi, a subtle nod to his cousin Yokozuna, as well as an opportunity to start fresh with a global audience.
Well, my dad, when he became the Rikishi character, when you think about Samoan wrestlers, right, or mean, or aggressive, he made it like his own flavor, right? He had the blonde hair, still carried the aggressiveness, but I think he just wanted to add like a little flavor to it. It became even more popular to our culture.
Rikishi blitzed WWE from the jump, devastating opponents with new tricks and winning people over with his fat-ass dance moves.
That Rikishi is fat, all right. P-H-A-T.
And with this wave of newfound momentum came even more success with Rikishi capturing the WWE Intercontinental Championship and displaying incredible athleticism in iconic moments like when he dove off the top of the steel cage. The year 2000 belonged to Rikishi. But little did anyone know, Rikishi held a dark secret regarding a decision he'd made not for his own benefit, but for the benefit of the family. It was at the 1999 Survivor Series that Stone Cold Steve Austin was hit by a car in the arena parking lot, forcing him from the main event later that night for the WWE Championship. For nearly a year, all of WWE was consumed with figuring out who was driving that damn car and why Austin was targeted in the first place. The verdict came in. The car was driven by Rikishi. Rikishi would stand strong.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. I didn't do it for me. I did it for The Rock.
What?
Rikishi would lay out a years-long gripe that WWE preferred Steve Austin to The Rock, and so Rikishi had made sure that The Rock's only competition had been removed from the picture. Rikishi sacrificed his own popularity to reach this goal. The Rock thrived while Austin was on the shelf. For Rikishi, the struggle and fall was all worth it. Rikishi knew that he would eventually have to face off with the Texas Rattlesnake to answer for his sins, and he welcomed that meeting with open arms. What Rikishi was unprepared for was for WWE to stack the deck entirely, looking to make Rikishi pay for taking out their golden goose. Stone Cold Steve Austin was allowed to drive his truck directly to the ring and was generally given the freedom to do whatever the hell he wanted in the name of revenge. We are going to make things right. This time, when Rikishi and Stone Cold Steve Austin lock horns, there will be no stacking of the deck. Someone willing to give of himself so that his family, this family, can succeed, deserves better. So get in there and showcase the never say die spirit that has led this family to victory time and time and time and time and time and time again. Use whatever weapon you can get your hands on and prove to Stone Cold Steve Austin that you will do anything for the people.
Is it legal to not show up? Rikishi has brutalized Austin lately.
Austin will be here, Byron. I just refuse to think anything else.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a no-holds-barred match. Introducing first, from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 424 pounds, Rikishi!
We have learned more about Rikishi in the last couple of weeks than we knew about him his entire career here in WWE. He said he ran over Austin not for himself, but for The Rock.
Right, and now he's coming out here, and I guess if Austin doesn't show up, the general manager is going to have to come out here and declare this is a forfeit, and Rikishi's going to win it. This man makes me sick. Is he here?
Well, there's the Rattlesnake's music.
He's here. Austin's here.
Stone Cold Steve Austin came here with no fear, no hesitation, just revenge.
His opponent, from Victoria, Texas, weighing in at 252 pounds, Stone Cold Steve Austin!
Austin fought for his life to make it back here, to make Rikishi pay.
Now there is no way Rikishi can escape the Texas Rattlesnake.
It's been almost a year since Austin competed in the ring. Austin is a man possessed. Rikishi feels good about running over Austin and said he'd do it again. That man is sick.
Well, Rikishi made two mistakes. One, trying to end Austin's life. And two, not being man enough to finish the job.
Austin's going to absolutely tee off on Rikishi.
This one is going to get ugly in a hurry. It's a miracle Austin survived being run over by Rikishi. Now a pissed off Texas Rattlesnake is on the loose and out for revenge.
It took Austin almost a year to recover from the injuries he suffered in that heinous attack. You can't blame Austin for the damage he inflicts on Rikishi tonight.
Byron, a lesser man wouldn't have survived. Stone Cold promised that Rikishi's days of walking above ground are over. This is no holds barred. We've talked so much about motives leading into this match. In my view, Rikishi's are delusional. His family have been given equal opportunities, and they all took full advantage of them.
Yeah, my blood boils at the propaganda Rikishi's been selling. But I'll tell you about the most legitimate motive in this story, and that is payback for Stone Cold. Austin nearly had his life taken from him, and there is no greater reason to stomp the tar out of somebody than that. Hoist it up, snap suplex.
Running leg drop. And looking at my monitor, it just makes me sick to my stomach watching Rikishi. This is a man who has no remorse and feels justified for running Austin down like a dog.
Look, to be devil's advocate, you've got to look at Rikishi's perspective. He's proud of his Samoan lineage and saw an opportunity to give his people a leg up in the Shark Tank that is WWE.
Are you serious, Corey? Rikishi ran over another human being. We're fortunate that it only put Austin on the show for 10 months instead of his whole life. It's sick that you would even condone what Rikishi did.
Don't twist my words, Saxton. I'm not saying I condone Rikishi's actions. I'm just saying I understand them.
Now Rikishi has the firm upper hand.
Rikishi with an onslaught here against Austin. Dare I say, Stone Cold could be in trouble.
Corey, Austin has been out of in-ring action for nearly a year. Does any possible ring rust factor into this match?
Well, maybe if this actually was a match, but this isn't about arm drags. It's not about drop kicks. This is a fight, and there is never any rust on Stone Cold when it comes to fighting.
Oh, sent straight into the corner hard.
And Byron, I just cannot see any legitimate reason to run over Stone Cold like Rikishi did last Survivor Series.
I mean, Austin does ruffle the feathers of a lot of people, Michael, but I don't think any of his rivals would go to the disgusting lengths that Rikishi has gone to. Great timing on that knee to the gut.
Connecting on the DDT. Austin is like a man possessed. It's been almost a year since Austin's been in the ring. Oh, he fights Rikishi back. And though The Rock wants nothing to do with this altercation, we have to mention the sadness Rikishi has brought to him.
Rock might be innocent in this whole ordeal, but I feel that somewhere inside his soul, The Rock is happy with what Rikishi's done. The Rock is proud to have Rikishi and his family.
No, Corey, what kind of lies are you trying to spread? We've heard Rock say Rikishi deserves what Austin is going to bring him. There's no family pride in that statement.
I'm just saying that blood is thicker than water, and it's been an easier ride for Rock without Austin in the picture, and that's thanks to Rikishi.
Sounds more like Rikishi is trying to take credit for all The Rock's success.
And clothesline.
Samoan drop.
Austin dodges that one.
And he re-enters into the ring. And Austin raising one. Up for the WWE Universe here.
And Rikishi channeling his energy here. Boom! Running STO plants him.
Nicely done.
And Rikishi enjoying how he's worn down the rattlesnake throughout this match.
And I bet The Rock is smiling about it too.
Oh, stop that nonsense, Corey.
Series of counters here. Who will finally capitalize?
Here he comes, sliding back into the ring. Exiting the ring, taking the action outside.
Oh, look at this. What a headbutt.
And all momentum has been taken from Austin.
No one holding Rikishi's family down now, taking out all those years of frustration on Austin here. Man.
No! Oh, colliding with the barricade. Lifted and completely helpless here. Running power slam! Now Rikishi has the firm upper hand.
Austin's having trouble assessing the situation. Oof!
That's what I love about WWE. There's no telling where the matches will go. And the core taking on some damage.
Boom!
Oh, square shot with the back elbows ends that.
Several reversals. Neither superstar able to penetrate their opponent's defenses. Oh, stiff uppercut.
A lot of body parts are flying in the WWE Universe right now.
Yeah, let's hope everyone is giving them enough space out there. He counters with a great reversal.
Both sides with an answer to every piece of offense.
Oh, man.
Surrounded by the WWE Universe.
Nowhere better to settle your differences, Cole.
Punch lands. Boom! Read that one.
Boom! Running STO plants him.
Nicely done.
Thrown out of ringside and back to the mat. Stone Cold reverses.
He's able to dodge out of the way.
Wards off the pin at 2.
And you got to think he's just one final blow away from not kicking out next time.
Scoop slam.
Rikishi hoisting up his opponent.
Rikishi driver.
Is that enough to take out Austin?
2. And they're still in this.
Austin somehow got the shoulder up. Intestinal fortitude on display from Stone Cold.
And you got to think that all the plans are out the window after the shoulders are down.
Is this the end?
Rikishi somehow defangs the rattlesnake. Damn it.
The winner of this bout, Rikishi!
This is not what many of us expected to see. We wanted to see retribution, but Rikishi was too much of a monster for Stone Cold tonight.
The vitriol that consumed Rikishi powered him to finish the job and leave a battered Austin in his rear view mirror.